It is an absolute privilege and honour to welcome the one and only John Summit to Hot Hits HQ right now. Let's go.
Hey, thank you. I'm stoked to be here.
Exciting. You've done your shows in Melbourne and Brisbane. Is that right already?
Yes.
How were they?
Vegas was awesome. The energy was through the roof. And then the couple shows in Melbourne were amazing. The crowd energy has been so fun.
Yeah. I'm a Melbourne girl, so...
Everyone in Melbourne is very opinionated that it's better than Sydney. I feel like there's a city rivalry going on.
No, okay.
There is a city rivalry going on.
No. I will tell you. Nick, no. Yes, there is. Yeah.
She's Melbourne, I'm Sydney, and Lauren's been here for 3 months, and I'm trying to convince her you'll be a Sydney girl, you'll be a Sydney girl.
Wow.
I'm losing hope, but I still feel it.
I love Sydney. I think Sydney is incredible, but they're just such different cities too.
Yeah, I guess it depends what kind of person you are too. If you're a late night 24/7 partier, I feel like Melbourne's the city for you.
Well,
and that is what I am.
You played at Revs the other day.
Yeah, that was legendary. I had so much fun.
What time of the day were you playing?
I played from like 12 to 2 p.m. on a Sunday.
And it would have been packed.
Oh, yeah.
Is that place just Sunday daytime?
Oh, yeah.
Forget about it.
It was a nice mix of people who've been up for 3 days straight and people who woke up freshly on a Sunday morning.
Yes.
So it's a funny, different crowd energy there.
Because that's the thing with Rev. Some people literally will get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, go to Revs, spend the day there. Whereas I was always a arrive at 6 a.m. Revs kind of person.
A bit of beauty sleep and you're in. I wonder with the city rivalry thing, is this something that as someone who has toured the world, do you see it as much in other countries? Like throughout Europe, throughout Asia?
Well, in America for sure though, because I'm from America and then like New York, Chicago, LA, everyone thinks their city's the best and every other city sucks. So I feel like, but at the end of the day, everyone's on the same team. So I feel like that's the same vibe and energy. I mean, in the UK, I think they all unanimously agree London's the best.
I think people in Manchester aren't like, it's fine, we get it.
National pride's not as strong in the UK as other countries, I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was reading before, so you were an accountant. You studied accounting, you were an accountant, and then you were like, nah, my passion's here. I want to do this. You do not give me accountant vibes at all. You give straight up DJ vibes.
Yeah, that's probably why I got fired from my accounting job. But I was always a DJ. I was a DJ all throughout college. I was DJ while being an accountant, but it was a very tough lifestyle of doing, like the 9 to 5 accounting job, and then I would moonlight as a DJ. But being an underground DJ, I'd play till like 6 in the morning and go straight into work with bloodshot eyes.
Oh, God.
Yes, I didn't really fit into the cubicle lifestyle too much.
Yeah,
totally.
Because there comes a point in any musician, especially DJs, though, where you've got to kind of be like, I've got to take this risk now. I've got to just make this my everything and give it everything I've got.
1,000%. You got to take the leap of faith.
Yeah, and you did it. And look at you now, bro.
Hey, now I'm in Sydney, Australia.
13,000 kilometers across the world. When was the leap, though, to go from, moonlighting as a DJ and the DJ stuff into actually composing and producing your own work?
I was always producing my own music, and I had releases on record label and stuff when I was still an accountant, and I was touring on the weekends. And I had to not take some shows because I couldn't get off work, which is kind of funny. But so then in 2019 is when I went full-time DJ producer, and I just went all absolute in, and I really started to hit my stride and thinking I'm gonna make it, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! So I had to go move back home and lived in my mom's basement. But then that ended up being the best period of time ever because I was just incredibly prolific, and I did over 100 records that year of 2020. And then so by the time the floodgates opened, it was off to the races.
How did you build the structure in that time where we were all so unstructured? How did you build the structure for yourself to be that prolific with the release schedule? Because I feel like that was something a lot of people struggled with.
I think when your back is put against the wall and you have I was incredibly tunnel vision, and there was no room for failure. I'm like, this is put my whole life to depend on this. So I just put my head down, didn't watch the news, didn't follow all the politics and everything, and just got to work. It was actually kind of a blessing in disguise, I guess.
100%.
Yes.
The record Comfort in Chaos, I think, was definitely one of the most special dance records of this decade, without a doubt. The way that you brought together that level of emotion with the kind of music that you make and the kind of crowds that you play to was something we rarely see, I think. And I see a lot of producers at the moment are trying to go down the more emotive route.
Yes.
But for you, did you feel the reaction for the record? Because I saw it everywhere that people were really connecting with what you'd done.
Yeah, what was really special to me is someone that was a singles-based artist for, releasing singles for 8 years. Yeah. They're always, based on being big party records, big club records, and it was very, artistically freeing to be able to make records that are made for outside of the club. And I mean, it's so fun because there's a record that's Palm in My Hands, which is the closing record on the album, that is meant for kind of a rainy day that was written in London, just the chill vibes. But then you have an Australian producer like Odd Mob that does a remix of it, and now it's like the biggest club festival record I have. And so it's just, that's what's so fun about song making and producing, is that you can make a song for like a smaller environment but still be able to produce it into a huge banger. So I feel like that's comforting chaos in a nutshell, right?
100%, exactly.
Yeah.
You get the comfort, you get the seriousness, and then you get the chaos of it all.
Exactly.
You mentioned Odd Mob. I know you are close with Dom Dollar as well.
Yes.
The Australian contingent, as an American coming in, the Australian contingent is very strong, right?
Yes.
We're not just imagining this.
Yeah, what do you mean by Australian contingent?
Like the contingent of DJs and producers from Australia that are making their mark on the world stage at the moment.
I mean, I think electronic music is like really deeply embedded in your culture, and I think
starts at Revs, obviously.
I think you guys should start partying younger too. I mean, every Australian like producer, they're just so ahead of the curve and they're so knowledgeable about the scene too. Yeah. Where America, I feel like I'm always just trying to educate the crowd and stuff too. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have better music education here or what, but the DJs that come out of Australia are incredible.
I almost feel like it's the opposite. That we don't have good music education, and it feels like everyone's rebelling and therefore trying to like learn this stuff as much as they can.
I guess, and dance music is inherently kind of a counterculture kind of movement, you know, not like in the big commercial space, but like the more underground genres. And you think of the parties and what goes down at those parties kind of thing.
Yeah.
What happens at Revs kind of stays at Revs a little bit.
Yeah, God, I could tell you some horror stories. You won't want to go back there, but you should.
Absolutely. It's been a beautiful, I feel like, and I don't know, Loz, like for me not being from Melbourne, but that Revs kind of pop-up set has become a little bit of a special ride.
Well,
we saw Fred do it.
Fred again did it recently, and it was just like so unbelievably iconic, and it's kind of people come from all over the world now and to go to Revs, and it's such an establishment, but I'm like, okay, I saw someone shit on a couch there, but like, cool.
And then he sat straight down.
I love that.
I do love this. You talk about the counterculture kind of thing a minute ago. You know, is that different from country to country, do you see? Do you see kind of different connections to dance music from different types of people that have maybe not grown up with it and then discovered it and gotten deep into it? Does that vary from country to country, or is this a very universal thing?
I mean, you think of like Berlin, Germany, people move from all over the world to get into more underground sounds, more techno sounds. I guess their Revs is Berghain, I guess, on a much bigger scale.
Have you been?
No, I don't think they would allow me in, to be honest. I need like a disguise or something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. You need your full counterculture disguise. Dude, it's obviously been a massive few years for you. Do you ever get any rest? What's your kind of rest schedule at the moment?
Good question. I sleep on the plane. I slept on the plane here.
Good. Yeah. It's a long trip. You gotta
it's a 20-hour flight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I try to pick and choose my battles. Got a little nap in on the car on the way here.
Good.
So
Nice.
it was like a 6-minute power nap.
Yeah.
So I'm all fresh right now.
He's just in and out of consciousness all day, and that's how we survive.
Yeah.
I love this. The Australian community is obviously connected to you on such a massive level. You know, you're playing, I mean, just in Sydney alone, 3 shows at the Horden, a dance music mecca. I mean, last artist I saw there was Porter Robinson playing 2 incredible sold-out shows there. You know, it just feels like it's building bigger and bigger. Do you see a ceiling for where this John Summit project can go?
No, because my boy Dom Dollar showed that you can blow the roof off of the ceiling.
Yeah.
I mean, and so his last tour here was nuts. And it's just cool. I'm not someone that I don't need to always be bigger and better kind of thing. Like, I don't know if like is the goal to do like a huge stadium here or something one day, but I mean, I just really like where I'm at right now, and I think it's a cool mixture of like hardcore fans are at the shows and know all the new music, but there's also new fans getting exposed to it too. So I think it's growing healthily. So we'll see.
Oh man, we're so excited for you.
Me too. John Summit, you're an absolute genius and icon of this genre in 2025, and thank you so much for coming into the Hot Hits. We really appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me.